Former President George W. Bush said, "The peaceful transfer of power is one of the hallmarks of a true democracy. We are all on this journey together, and together we will continue to work to safeguard our rights and freedoms." Although he was a heavily controversial leader, he and his party remained loyal to what is considered the most sacred value of modern democracy: the transfer of power. So what happens once a president has been elected? Does the new president just walk into the Oval Office and start telling everyone what to do? Well, no. It is definitely not that simple. Take a few minutes to let us explain exactly how the transition of power happens and what steps are taken for the new president and their whole staff to begin their term. But before we begin, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to learn more leading to the big election date of November 5th. General overview. After a new president is elected in the United States, a series of well-defined and constitutionally mandated steps unfold to ensure a peaceful and orderly transfer of power. These steps are crucial for the stability of the nation and the continuation of its democratic traditions. The process begins on Election Day and culminates with the presidential inauguration. Along the way, there are key moments such as the certification of electoral votes, the transition period, and the formalities surrounding the handover of the executive office. Number 1. Election Day and results. The US presidential election is held every 4 years on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. On this day, American citizens cast their votes for their preferred candidates. However, due to the Electoral College system, the popular vote in each state determines the selection of electors who will cast their votes for the president and vice president. If you'd like to know more about how the Electoral College system works, you can check out one of our earlier videos that explains the whole thing with this link here. Once the votes are tallied, media outlets often project the winner based on unofficial results. But these projections are not the final word. States must officially certify their election results, which usually takes several weeks. Each state's process for certifying results may differ slightly, but it typically involves local election officials confirming the accuracy of vote counts. Number 2. Electoral College voting. The Electoral College consists of 538 electors, with each state's number of electors being equal to its number of congressional representatives, the House members and Senator members which form Congress. After the states certify their election results, the electors meet in their respective states on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December to formally cast their votes for president and vice president. These votes are then sent to Washington, D.C., the political capital of the USA, where they are officially counted in a joint session of Congress. This usually occurs on January 6th, following the election, though the date can vary if Congress chooses to adjust the schedule. The sitting vice president, in their role as president of the Senate, presides over the joint session and announces the results of the Electoral College vote. If a candidate wins a majority of the electoral votes, at least 270 out of 538, that individual is declared the president-elect. In rare cases where no candidate achieves a majority, the election is decided by the House of Representatives, a process known as a contingent election, which has not occurred since 1824. Number 3. The transition period. Once the results are confirmed, the president-elect enters the transition period, which lasts from Election Day on November 5th until Inauguration Day. During this time, the incoming president begins preparing to take office, and this process involves several key steps. Establishing a transition team. The president-elect forms a team of advisors to help with the transition. This team works on policy planning, cabinet selection, and staffing key roles in the new administration. Receiving security briefings. The president-elect begins receiving the same daily national security briefings as the sitting president, known as the President's Daily Brief, PDB, which includes classified information on national security threats. Coordination with the outgoing administration. A peaceful transition of power involves cooperating between the outgoing and incoming administrations. Federal agencies including the General Services Administration, GSA, provide resources, office space, and funding for the president-elect's transition efforts. The Presidential Transition Act of 1963 and subsequent amendments provide the legal framework for this process. Are you finding our videos about the US electoral system helpful and informative? Support us by clicking the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Number 4. Cabinet and key appointments. During the transition, the president-elect focuses on selecting key members of the cabinet and other top positions within the federal government. These include the secretaries of major departments such as State, Defense, and Treasury, and heads of various agencies like the CIA and EPA. These appointments require Senate confirmation. The president-elect also prepares to nominate individuals for more than 1,000 other positions, many of which also require Senate approval, so you can imagine that the transition period takes a long time. Transition teams coordinate with the outgoing administration to ensure a smooth handover of responsibilities. Number 5. Inauguration Day. The process culminates on Inauguration Day, which takes place on January 20th of the year following the election. This day is constitutionally mandated and represents the formal transfer of power. At noon, the president-elect takes the oath of office, as prescribed by the U.S. Constitution in Article 2, Section 1. Quote, "I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States." End quote. The inauguration ceremony typically takes place on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, with dignitaries, former presidents, members of Congress, and the public in attendance. After taking the oath, the new president delivers an inaugural address, basically a big speech, outlining their vision for the nation and marking the beginning of their administration. And finally, number 6, executive actions and transitions of power. Immediately after being sworn in, the new president may issue executive orders, often to reverse or implement policies. They set the tone for their administration or address pressing issues. Additionally, the president signs documents formally recognizing the members of their cabinet and receives ceremonial military honors. The outgoing president departs the White House, typically offering well wishes to the new leader, or at least we hope. The nuclear codes and other presidential responsibilities are transferred to the new president at noon, cementing the peaceful transfer of power. The steps taken after a new president is elected are integral to the stability of American democracy. These steps, from the counting of electoral votes to the transition period and finally the inauguration, ensure that the presidency is passed from one leader to the next in a peaceful and orderly manner, a hallmark of the US political system. We hope this journey of understanding the US political system during this great electoral race has helped you even a bit to understand what is going on amidst all the noise. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends so that more people understand what it's all about. Stay tuned to the channel as there are many more parts of this journey to share with you.